Dr. Speaker, members of the board, delegates, and guests. 24 years ago, the AMA greeted a new century. And at that time, we were mired in controversy and uncertainty. Our financial foundation was frail. A series of high-profile disputes led to the abrupt departures of those in senior management, including a number of my CEO predecessors. So in other words, things were just a tad messy. And that's in stark contrast to where the AMA is today. We now have outstanding financial stability. Membership, which had progressively declined for 40 years prior to 2011, has since then climbed to levels not seen for decades. In fact, total AMA membership is up more than 30% since I became CEO in 2011. In the past decade, we have successfully implemented the AMA's first long-range strategic framework, built on the policy meta-signals of this House, a strategic framework that has brought focus and impact. Our reach has never been greater. Record-breaking web traffic and videos, record media visibility, ever-expanding resource offerings through the JAMA network and the AMA EdHub. Our important CPT coding solutions were digitized and served up with markedly improved tools. A new credentialing tool is emerging to save physicians time. The AMA Venture Studio in Silicon Valley, Health 2047, has spun out 9 companies that reflect the commercial translation of our strategic framework. Technology companies that offer solutions to streamline administrative burdens on physician practices, or provide a platform for small practices to participate in clinical trials, or differentiate subtypes of obesity defined by this House as a disease that require differing therapeutic interventions. What we have invested in creating those companies has already attracted 10 times that investment from others. We're leading a revolution in medical education and training, as well as the fight against hypertension, our nation's #1 cause of death and disability. We're fighting to remove obstacles that undermine the patient-physician relationship, and we strongly lean against outdated payment frameworks that interfere with, rather than support, patient care. Those arcs of our strategic framework are aided by advocacy, innovation, and equity, 3 accelerators recognized nationally in their own right now. Our position as the physician's powerful ally in patient care has never been more secure nor more evident. So how did we get from the mire at the turn of the century to where we are today? Well, in 2001, my immediate predecessor, Dr. Michael Maves, led a management team then focused simply on righting the ship, both financially and operationally. That difficult work, done in concert with the evolving AMA board, restored AMA stability, an enormous underlying benefit when I arrived as CEO. That restored foundation, no longer wobbly, allowed me to build a strong management team, and that team, following House policy and board approvals, created the now widely regarded strategic framework. My current contract as CEO ends in 1 year, in June of 2025. And at that time, I will have had the privilege of serving in this role for 14 years, a long time for a CEO in an organization like ours. In fact, the longest since Dr. Jim Sammons was appointed to this position more than half a century ago. At a time when the average CEO tenure in either associations or corporate America is in the range of 4 to 6 years, my 14 years might be considered long of tooth. Given this, I recently informed our board chair, my dear friend and colleague, Dr. Willie Underwood, that I would leave my position as my contract expires next June. Now, these decisions are not easy. As said about the C-suite, when things are tough, you shouldn't leave. But when things are great, it's hard to leave. Many things are great with our AMA at this moment, and that makes such a decision hard. While I'm proud of what we've accomplished together in my time here, and I'll say more about that in the interim, my focus now shifts to ensuring a smooth and effective transition to the next CEO. When ruminating on such a transition, the initial thought naturally drifts toward organizational accomplishment, financial, strategic, and operational. But in studying the history of such transitions, it becomes clear that legacy is also defined by the quality of the handoff to the next CEO. The extent to which support is given, assistance provided, in any way sought, whatever best positions the AMA for ongoing success, that's what's needed. A McKinsey exploration of CEO transitions drew a really clever analogy with the U.S. men's 4x100 meter relay event. This relay was introduced at the 1912 Summer Olympics held in Stockholm. The relay team has 4 of the country's best and fastest 100-meter sprinters, each of whom run one leg of the race before handing the baton to the next. The United States dominated this event throughout the 20th century, winning gold in 15 of 20 Summer Olympics between 1912 and 2000. But in the 5 Summer Olympics since, the U.S. men's team failed to win gold, earning just 1 lesser medal during that entire period. That was shocking, considering our past dominance, but also the fact that the U.S. teams were heavily favored to win the gold in each of those years. So what happened? Why had our nation's sprinters suddenly underperformed? The answer was simple: faulty handoffs. And by the way, we'll see that at this Paris Olympics this summer. Watch the handoffs. At the Nader, in the 2020 games in Tokyo, one writer described the handoffs of our relay team as evocative of the Keystone Cops. The quality of handoff to AMA's next CEO is likewise critical, and I look forward to helping in any way I can, because I don't want to be remembered in transition as a Keystone Cop. Perhaps the major accomplishment of the AMA over the last many years has been to cement our reputation as a mission-driven organization with impact, not simply a trade organization. That returns us to the roots of our founding in 1847, when we led medicine away from quackery and toward care driven by a foundation of medical ethics. And the coming transition to the next management team needs to be robust given the challenges we face. Challenges of soaring chronic disease, of physician shortage and burnout, the challenge to strengthen physician voice in an era of increasing consolidation across healthcare, the challenge of providing equitable, high-value care for all, and wrestling to keep both corporate interests and political actors out of the exam room so that the patient-physician relationship remains sacrosanct. The challenge of defining an appropriate and productive role for healthcare technology, from AI in all its forms to application of quantum dots and benefits from new developments in material science. AI will transform what we do. While it's important that we avoid related harms that could emerge, it's equally important that we don't fall into a defensive crouch. While avoiding harms, we need to maximize AI and other emerging tools for the benefit of our patients, to grasp the promise of these transformations. In other words, to play offense with these tools as well as defense. These challenges demand steadfast leadership by physicians, by the AMA, so that we maintain our momentum. Our incoming board chair, another colleague and dear friend, Dr. Mike Sook, will organize a search for my successor. Meanwhile, I'll be doing everything I possibly can to make this transition seamless, and of course, I appreciate all of your efforts in doing the same. A smooth transition and a quality handoff in 2025 will undergird our most treasured ability. And you know what that is? That's the ability to promote the art and science of medicine and the betterment of public health. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in November.